Are you concerned about all this corruption being misgendered as conspiracies? Well, don't you worry. Sit back, relax, and join in the conversation as we talk with today's guest. Welcome to another LSB Film Productions podcast with your host, Chris Brooks.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I've got the great Robbie Robinson back on the show, and we are going to talk about, mainly because we had quite a good response in the comment sections, and so I thought it'd be an ideal opportunity to bring him back on, and so we can talk about the corruption, especially within the child maintenance sector of social services and the like. So let's get down with this. Welcome to the show again. Lovely to have you back.
Chris, thanking you, and thanking you all commenters that really gave some really nice positive comments. We need you guys to just get rooting and, you know, keep thumbs up for the channel and keep watching the channel. So thanks for having me back, Chris. Yeah,
my absolute pleasure. So what's new then?
Well, I wanted to point out that we've had our talk about the council tax and the scams that they're doing there, which I found out to be scam, and everyone else is finding out to be scam. But I wanted to highlight the maintenance scam, the family division side of things, how they're all tied in, the same courts, the same false interpretation of their own law. The things that we actually are paying for, I didn't even think of that, but we're actually paying for all of this structure, which is supposed to be there as a cushion for us to fall on or to rely on. So with the maintenance situation, I think I've sent you a couple of clips to back the story, because a lot of people come on these shows and they talk and they don't really have any solid evidence to show people what is really happening. So thank God I made a couple of clips, some audio recordings and video recordings of certain situation that has arisen since I withheld my maintenance money from my children. And if I might tell you why I did that, I was paying like a father does, genuinely, hand on heart, hand over fist, monies to my children. But when I found that the contract that I had, the legal contract that I had to see my child and not giving up my biological rights, was overridden, which contracts are not supposed to be overridden, law is contract. It was overridden, and the kids were taken, abducted, basically, to the point the judge wrote, the children are anchored in Sweden, which is not the right way for it to be termed.
No.
Anchored, he meant chained, which is enslaved. Anyway, I continued paying, thinking I'm going to see my children, because family, social services, and the Children's Rights Acts, etc., stipulates that you must see a child every 4 weeks and such, and the judge stipulated that in the order. So I thought, okay, well, I've lost the custody of my children because I'm following law. But at least I'll see them, and whatever I've lost, I'll recover when I see them, play with them, give them money and all this kind of stuff, because we used to really play together, me and my children, a lot. Anyway, pain and pain. When I found out that I wasn't seeing them, couldn't see them, and then I think I told you in the podcast my VPN was compromised, so I couldn't get no information about my children at home. When I found out she was trying to terminate her life via a clip, which I think actually I will send you this clip. She tried to terminate her life, and her words were, the kids are depressed and nothing makes sense. And she was like this and very sad looking. I've never seen my daughter like that before. And this was in the public domain. I realized something was wrong. So I went to Sweden, flew to Sweden, done some researches in the library, found out where they were living, went to the schools, etc. But I thought I couldn't hang about in the school. So I'm still paying my maintenance at this point. Couldn't couldn't hang about at the school because I looked like a child molester or something. So I went to near more or less where they lived. Couldn't find the address.
What is it about Sweden though? Why did they why was Sweden the location that they went? I don't understand why
Because
they
the mother was
separated you.
Swedish. The
Oh,
mother's
okay.
Swedish.
Okay.
And I allowed her to go back with the children, providing I could see them when and I wish, because of danger, particularly because of any dangers to them, and provided that she lived in a location which was next to her mother, no further than 30 minutes away from her mother. So if anything happened, the mother could drive over there really quickly, or the father. Little did I know that these was the one that destroyed my children's lives. Nevertheless, so I went as close as I could to the flats, but because it's Swedish, I couldn't read and I couldn't quite get the locations. Anyway, I'm driving in the location that I believed was where the children live. And I couldn't find it. So I'm on my way back now. This is a waste of time. Why did I think of doing this? Anyway, I'm driving back and I see this child on the road, mixed race, but he was uncared for. He was scruffy, he was dirty. And I thought, why don't these people don't look after their children? But the Spirit says to me, shout out your son's name. So I said, Elijah, man. And he looked around like it was my son. That's how I found my son. I said, I'm your dad, but he doesn't speak English. They've had him over there so long. And he used to speak English when he was 3. But they've had him over there for so long and he can't speak English. I said, I'm your dad, but I think he understood. So he took me to his home. I saw his sister, she crying her eyes out, Dad, Dad, Dad. Cuddled him up. The other one had been abandoned into a home, I found out. My daughter's arms all cut. And I mean, I couldn't ask her there and then because I could see there's a problem. But didn't want to.
So she was self-harming.
Yeah, she was self-harming. So the next day, when I said, I'm coming back here and I'm going to see you come rain or shine. So whatever the situation, you tell your mother, I'm coming back here to pick you up and we go for a drive and have a talk. So picked him up the next day, 2 of them out of the 3, went for a drive and she told me how she tried 3 times to, the parent that she has there would not give her any help, etc., etc. For me, it was too much. So I said, look, when she told me, I said, look, we need to go to the police. We really need to go. Well, that's the wrong word to say to
so's parent, by the way.
Pardon?
So's parent.
Yeah, I know. Please excuse me these words.
No,
okay?
no, you're fine. You're
I'm in
fine.
a learning process, as you know. So I said, we need to go to the police because I'm still thinking logically.
Yeah.
And that's when she's like another person, like possessed. She just screaming and went and what? And I thought, okay, no, it's all right. I'll take you back home. That was the safest thing to do. She'd been so
Traumatized.
damaged. Yeah. It's like you're coming to do maybe what the other one has been doing to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she wants help. And you're coming thinking that you're helping. Let's go to the police. Like that boy in the French thing that we spoke about, the Stockholm Syndrome, how ironic, Sweden. Nevertheless, anyway, so I'm going to try and jump back. After taking her back home, etc., etc., and I just about saw my other child, which was coming out of a taxi. To cut a long story short, after all that headache and tears in police station, crying my eyes out, please, I need help, man. They wouldn't do anything. Came back to London. I'm still paying maintenance. And I said, no, I can't do this. I'm paying for her to be harmed, just like I'm doing with the council tax. So I said, right, I need to get attention to this. How do I get attention? The only way to get attention is to stop the money. So I stopped the money. Thank God. So the courts are going to get onto me now. And then I can then say, look, this is what's happening. At long last, the way out. Nope. This is where you find out that these people, they hide all form of crimes, all form of dangers to children. They don't care about the children. This is where corporative measures comes in to make solely money. 20% on what you're paying them and 4% from what the mother is getting. So their main concern. Anyway, long story short, a court date was set in London eventually. They said Sweden had made an order, and I went to the magistrate's court in Feltham. I said, excuse me, madam, can you please let me know who you are? But she wouldn't give me no indication as to who she was at first. Just proceeded to I passed all the documents, as in court, you're supposed to give all the evidence and documents. She doesn't want to look at no evidence. Today, I'm about to make an order because Sweden has given me an order to say that they have jurisdiction on your children and payment needs to be made. I said, excuse me, before you even commence, I don't agree to any of this. Can I see the stamped order, the valid order from Sweden? Because it's evidence. I need to see the evidence. She wouldn't show me this paper. I said, it's evidence. You need to show me the evidence. She wouldn't show me no evidence. I said, I don't agree. Still green in the mind. I said, I don't agree with anything that you're doing here because I don't understand what you're doing. She proceeded and continued and tried to get me to sign a paper, a bank document, to say, because she said, you must pay this amount per month. I says, I'm not agreeing to anything that you say because you are not showing me the valid document from Sweden. Anyway, cut a long story short, I try and speed this up. I said, I don't agree with anything here, so you can't make a judgment because I don't agree. And I have that recorded. Nevertheless, I left the court. And as I was leaving, she said, you can appeal. I said, appeal to what? I don't agree to anything. So anyway, I left the court, wrote in a stern letter, why I don't agree, blah, 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 etc., etc. Didn't hear nothing from them. Wrote another letter, didn't hear nothing from them. About a year later, they had taken my address, my name to Holborn, which is another family division support. But in Holborn, you've got ICACU, and you've got all the other children agencies. So they're all tied in. And
Oh, yeah, it's one big web to see, isn't it?
It's one big family, I'm finding out. So the long and short of it, they took me to court and made some judgment. So they say. I said, I've never been to this court, so how can you make a judgment? Anyway, we speed things up. In 2021, I've sent you a clip, and this clip that we are about to watch is when I'd been to court 5 or 6 times where they'd been mucking me about and trying to get me to do courts over phone. I refused over the phone because I said the evidence won't fit over the phone. I don't know how to use my phone, etc., etc. I want a face-to-face hearing. So she woman write me back a letter. Of course, you're going to have a face-to-face hearing, etc., etc. So, and date was given me to arrive at Feltham Court. So I went to Feltham Court. But what I noticed was when I would go on my own, the courts would appear. But when I go with someone else, no one appeared in the courts. I found this very strange. So when I went the first time, they cancelled on me. I thought this is strange. So they invited me again. So this time I took a girlfriend, a lady friend I was seeing, a film engineer, photographer, director lady, quite an intelligent lady. So I took her and she was dressed quite astute. So when I walked in with her, they must have thought she's a solicitor or something. So I went up, as the clip shows, I went up into the courtroom, and the clip, you'll see me go into the listings on the wall, looking at the date, the court date, the time I'm meant to be there, and go into the courtroom, which was court number 2. You'll see me looking at the document to show you that I'm meant to be there. Well, lo and behold, comes 3 o'clock, the time of the court. Now that I've got witnesses, No one shows up. No
They don't
one.
want to be held accountable, do they?
So it's now the penny's starting to drop in my head. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. When I come on my own, they come out or they play some masquerade game. Now that I've got witnesses, no one comes out. So what I did was on their documents, the bottom of their document, it says if you do not turn up in court, the case may be carried on without you. A judgment may be made in your absence.
Yeah.
I kind of shaking it at the moment, actually going through it all again. I didn't realise it's going to be so nerve-wracking, but this is why we need people to actually get up off of their butts and start to do something, because this is nerve-wracking, sweating, telling you. So anyway, can you put me back as where I was?
Nobody showed up.
So the court document says if there's no one here, in your absence, a judgment may be made in your absence. So I initially took, as the clip shows, took it upon myself to take hold of the court because the court was vacant and the date was made, and the document that they gave me says that this is taking place on that day. So I'm not going to waste it. So the clip will now show you that
it became your court.
How it became my court and how I took jurisdiction and what I said. So you can watch that clip.
Hello, my name's Oliver Robinson. I'm here outside courtroom 2. I'm also here outside Support Through Courts. And both courts have let me down. These ones gave me false information, which misled me and has not supported me in courts. I came back and spoke to them about it, and they said these things doesn't happen, but until now I've had no support. So I've been misled by these ones. I've also been misled by these people because the courtroom is vacant. Apparently this is a training suite, but it's been put down as a court. I'm here to say that I'm here in person under full authority, and I take seize of the court because it's vacant. I take seize of the court because it's vacant. And why? Because I'm supposed to be here in person today, 3 p.m. So the court is vacant, and being as the court is vacant and it's 3 o'clock, coming up to 3 o'clock, if there's no one here, if there's no one here in this courtroom by 3 o'clock, as my witness is that camera up there's a witness, I take charge of this courtroom and I dismiss this case. I dismiss this case with full claims payable to Oliver Robinson and his family. Heaven Robinson, Grace Robinson and Elijah Mann Robinson. I take seize of this court because the court is vacant. And I'm told to attend. There is a courtroom. There's no one in this courtroom. It is vacant. Therefore, I take charge of my rightful jurisdiction. I take charge of this fallacy that is happening. There's no one in the courts of protection to protect my child from the dangers. All I'm hearing outside here is witnesses screaming daylight murder of their cases, of what you people are doing. Evilly taking away our children from us by force, while solicitors have been paid to do this. We feel the pain. They dress like Elites while we crawl around like termites. I take charge of this courtroom because there's no one present to take charge of it. I, Mr. Oliver Robinson, bearer of this certification from this very said courtroom, told to be in this courtroom at 3 o'clock. Here it is there. 1 hour. I take charge of this courtroom with full authority. Authority given to me by this paper to agree to be here. I take full charge of this courtroom because this courtroom is vacant. The personnel who are meant to be here are not here, so I take full charge of this courtroom and I make an order because I have sovereign rights over my children. I make an order this case be dismissed and the sufferers, the ones who have been oppressed, Mr. Oliver Robinson, Grace Robinson, Heaven Robinson, Elijah Robinson, be set free from this torment as of now. This case is dismissed with full merits and full jurisdiction by the judges not being in a courtroom that they said I should be in for a face-to-face hearing. This court is adjourned. This court is adjourned. Witnesses have been brought to face the judges that are not here. So with full legal force given to me by the courtroom, this establishment here to attend on this day in face to face, and by the documentation seen on the front of the court that said I should be here in person, I'm here in person. If by this digital recording alone within the parameters and the parameters of the courtroom, I'm here in person, this case is dismissed because I have jurisdiction. There's no one here to take any jurisdiction of the fraudulent measures that have been encountered here today. I take full jurisdiction of all these measures and full handle of my case. This case has been dismissed by the person who has the jurisdiction, and the remittance and payments be surrendered to the applicants, the claimants, Mr. Robinson and his 3 children. Case dismissed. You witnessed this.
Yeah.
The judges are not in the courtroom. They told me to be in. Here's a paper that says I'm meant to be in this courtroom today. There's a paper on the door that says I'm supposed to be there, and the judge is not there. I have full right to take jurisdiction of a courtroom that has been prepared. God prepares my table before me in front of my enemies. That's the greatest preparation ever. On the courtroom door it says it's vacant. I take charge. It's called seizing the courts by law. And I've seized the court and dismissed the case. That's it. Case closed.
So as you've seen in the clip,
Blimey, yeah.
right, no one turned up in a court. Have you ever heard of that? You understand? No. So it became my court, and I made a judgment that I and my children ought to be set free from this because it's my jurisdiction. They are my biological seeds, not even children, seeds. They're a copy of me, inalienable, that God gave me that creative measures to be able to make something, reproduce something. So no one has that right to take that away from me. And here I am talking to you, still haven't seen my children. So I've just seen in that clip, we move on to the second part of this measure, the scam. A week later, they sent me, in between that space of the last clip, they sent me, you got to attend to the court again next week. This time, I don't want to be dragging my missus back and forth, because it was embarrassing bringing her there and there was no one there, as the clip showed. So I went back by myself. But this time, I walked in with people. So it seemed like I got more witnesses. So what do you think was happening again?
They dispersed.
The courtroom was again vacant.
Are these people that you brought with you then, or are these just people who happen to be in the courtroom?
These are people who happen to come in at the same time. God is amazing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
God is amazing. These are people that came at the same time, and I'm a friendly person. I speak to anybody, you know. So I'm talking to this young girl and this other woman about there. I said, "What are you here for?" But I'm trying to find out what, because I'm feeling it now for people. So they stay in a room and they watch us on the CCTV in the foyer. So they must have thought I'm with these people. So come 3 o'clock, get up, go to the courtroom again. What do you think? Door locked, court vacant, no one there. I said, I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of this. Every time I turn up, there's no one in the courtroom. So comes 3:10. I have had enough now. I'm now leaving to go home. The foyer is empty. They can now see that I'm on my own. What do you think happens?
They decided they want to play court.
They turn up. So in this audio clip, I was about to leave, and all of a sudden, oh, Mr. Robinson. So I turned around, and it was this woman that I had been known from the other cases appearance, Liz. I said, what is it? I said, I'm fed up of this now, because the court time's gone. And there was no one in the court. So I'm thinking, well, there's no courtroom. It's all adjourned. Oh, Mr. Robinson, can I have a word? So I start my recording, and in this clip you'll hear me say, look, I'm fed up of this fraud. And she's now leading me into this room that was vacant. So I said, I'm fed up with this fraud, because I'm thinking we're just having a normal conversation. Fed up with this fraud and blah, blah, blah. And, I've had enough of this. This has got to stop, because my head is now busting. Well, gets into the room, and she's now trying to entrap me into a court case. So I see 3 people sitting there, and as the clip explains, I walk into the room, and she says, can you take a seat here? Now I'm a little bit more wiser. This is an offer. I says, no, I'm standing here and keeping my jurisdiction, whatever the word is.
Yeah, jurisdiction.
All of a sudden I heard, sit! This woman.
Really patronising.
Yeah, pointing at me like a dog. Well, just like that, I went silent, because at the end of the day, I've now got to think what to really do. Don't lose it. But don't abuse me, please, because now you're stepping past the mark. When I looked at her, she said, sit. I think she said, sit. Anyway, the clip explains what happens. So in this clip, you hear me accustom these people, or not accustom, me put it to these people that you are a court of protection. And it says in the civil procedure rules that if the children are in danger, what the court does, blah, 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 and you're a court of family protection. So in this clip, you'll hear me stand my ground, not accept any of what they're saying, and ask them about the suicide attempt, and then being aware of the suicide attempt and trying to bywash it and pass it, and what their liabilities are, etc., etc. So we'll go into this clip now. Now you've got an understanding of how and why this clip was made.
Okay.
The case has been dismissed.
Okay.
I'm fed up of this joke and this fraudulent that these people are playing.
Can I just take a seat here?
This case has been dismissed. Okay, I'm just here to let you people know the case has been dismissed last week.
Mr. Robertson, do you want to take a seat, please?
No, I'm just taking.
I need to stop.
One second.
I need to start proceedings formally.
One second.
Which means starting
One
the
second.
recording.
Can I just?
No, you can't. Sit down. Sit down, please.
Who are you, madam? Can you explain to me who you
I'm
are?
the chair of the bench. Will you
If you're
sit
allowed-
down,
Well, explain and don't point at me, please. Right, madam, you invited me in here. I came here. There was no one here. What is the situation with this room?
Okay, let me just start proceedings. So I've started the recording. Just for the benefit of the recording, this is case number 655-522.
The case has been closed last week.
9G in the case of Robinson. It's a remo case to deal with.
It's not a remo case, madam.
To deal with the outstanding arrears.
Hello,
an
excuse
order-
me. Excuse me.
If
May I
you-
correct you? May I correct you? Because
Mr.
the thing is,
Robinson,
may I
can I just introduce the matter?
Yes, you
and
can,
everyone
madam.
in court,
Okay.
so you know what's going on.
I'm standing
You
here
can take a
taking.
seat.
No, I'm standing here taking keep my jurisdiction.
Okay. So just for everyone's benefit, the order was made on the 8th of August by West London Family
It was in
Court.
an illegal order made. It was made in that room across
Okay,
there.
just a moment.
Yeah, I just
It
correcting you.
was ordered on behalf of the Swedish authority that Mr. Robinson pay £120 a month. towards
Excuse me.
his
May I
children,
just?
Heaven, Grace, and Elijahman.
Yes, who actually
Currently, the
Yep.
arrears stand at £4,400.
No, they do not, madam.
So today,
Excuse me, may I stop you there, please? May I stop you there? May I stop you there, please? The case was you guys sent me an invitation. This courtroom, this business centre, sent me an invitation to attend today to resolve a matter that they fraudulently took on in that courtroom over on August 2000 August, the last case that you said that order was made. The lady took a fraudulent, I asked the lady, I need to see a valid, before the court case begins, I need to see a valid order from Sweden that states that they have jurisdiction over my children which have been theft. The lady could not show me a valid order. There was no stamped order from Sweden. This courtroom does not have no jurisdiction over fraudulent measures. Again, I reiterated to the lady that I would not be, no order can be made. The lady determined to me, said she was a judge. She did not, she could not make an order because I did not agree to any of the contents, any of my data being fraudulently used. I attended the courtroom here last week because this said courtroom gave me an invite to say that I have a face-to-face meeting. You have now walked me into this room to entrap me because you said to me it's a face-to-face hearing. You stood outside there and asked me to come in. You didn't tell me that you're actually coming in to see any judges or anything like that. This is fraud, madam. And I like your name and I like the people who are seated here name today because, can I finish? Because hello, madam. Because you are aware. 1 second. You guys are aware that the children that. 1 second. The children that you have. 1 second. If you're going to leave, then I dismiss the case. The case has been dismissed, and I demand your name. What is the name of this woman, please?
Miss Robertson.
What is the name of this lady pretending to be magistrate? What is your name, madam? What is this person's name? It has been dismissed, and these people are fraudulent. Hello? No, madam, you stop. This is my courtroom. The courtroom was vacant last week when you guys had the courtroom. 1 second. Please, madam. While I will allow you to speak. I will allow you to speak. I will allow you to speak.
I would like to speak now.
Yeah, no, I'm not finished yet. This fraud has got to stop. You are aware, madam, that my children, Heaven, he's tried to commit suicide 3 times, are you not?
Jewish security.
This... Security for what?
No, Mr. Robinson.
This woman's aware that my child.
Mr.
One second. Liz, you wrote to me. Are you not aware? Are you aware that Heaven has tried to commit suicide 3 times?
If you're not going to let me speak,
I'm answering your question, madam. Are you aware that Heaven Robinson has tried to commit suicide 3 times?
If you're not going to let me speak.
Okay, well, I'll let you answer that question.
If you're not going to let me speak, this case will not progress today.
The case has been closed last week, and you people owe money for the damages.
You've not been given a chance to speak yet, and the magistrate.
What do you mean? I've taken jurisdiction. I took jurisdiction from last week. The courtroom has no jurisdiction over fraud. Yes, madam.
Today is to decide what's happening.
You said to me this is a face-to-face meeting. You just told me that's a REMA meeting. That's fraud.
Do you want some time out and then you can come back in and start all over again? Because I'm not going to deal with the case when you're deep talking.
Are you the judge?
No, I'm not.
Who are you? Are you the prosecutor?
No, I'm not.
Who's prosecuting this case then? Where is the prosecutors?
This is not a case to deal with prosecution.
So how did this case arise? How did this case arise when there was no case, when the kids have been stolen? How can this court have jurisdiction on theft? How can the courtroom, please Liz, I could be your father trying to save you. That's what the bottom line is.
If you're going to behave in this manner,
what manner?
You're not letting anyone speak.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
When the magistrates,
they are not magistrates. They did not explain that they're magistrates. Yes, madam.
You can either compose yourself.
I am very composed. Look at me.
Everyone is allowed to be heard and spoken in this hearing.
Yes.
Or if not, we will not deal with your case, and you'll have to come back another day.
Madam,
today was the last opportunity to finalise proceedings.
Madam, you cannot finalise proceedings on fraud, Liz. I'm telling you. You go to any courtroom, you cannot finalise proceedings on fraud. Use a courtroom.
I'm going to speak to the magistrates and see if they're going to allow you 5 minutes just to conduct yourself.
No, they know what they know. I need the name.
We'll conclude today, and your hearing will have to be adjourned to another
I
day.
need the name
So the
of
decision
this
is yours.
person. Before I continue, I know your name. I have it officially on
decision
paper.
is yours.
The decision has been mine because I took jurisdiction last
What do
week.
you want to do? Do you want to come back
I
in
want
5
the
minutes
name
and
of the
restart?
people. I want the name of the person that are
You want
presiding.
to come back in 5 minutes and
Hello.
restart?
I need the name of the persons that reside in and says that they are judged because have got vicarious liability. If there's a courtroom of protection and they know that the children is in danger, the first thing they should do is, for the best interest of the children, is to see that the children are in danger.
I'll give you one final opportunity to answer my question.
Liz,
I'm giving you one final
who are
opportunity
you in
to
this
answer my
case? Can I ask you who are you in this
I'm
case?
the legal advisor in this court.
You're a legal advisor,
I'm responsible for
and this is
advising
the civil
yourself.
civil conversation we're
I'm
having.
giving you one opportunity. Do you want to restart these proceedings?
The
in
case
5
has been
minutes?
closed, Liz.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to call security to remove
For
you.
what, Liz? For what? Here I am. If you can see it, my hands are behind my back. I'm standing really.
I've given you one final opportunity.
To
so
do
you don't
what?
want to
Are you
restart.
forcing me to do something?
You don't want to restart the
Excuse me,
proceedings?
are you forcing me to do something? I'm asking
Okay,
you.
that's fine. You've made your decision.
I've not answered you anything. I've asked you a question. Are you forcing me to do something? Hello, madam. Are you forcing me to?
Make your way out.
Thank you very much. The case has been dismissed, and I need the names of these
Can you
people.
make your way out?
Yes, I will do. I need the names of these people, the fraudulent, and you will be sued as well for vicarious liability.
So, as you've heard in the clip, I still can't believe it.
They're just so condescending, aren't they?
What
They
does that
literally
mean?
treat you like, they just treat you like a little child. They literally do treat you
Worse,
like a piece of shit.
worse. They treat you worse than a child.
They want to dehumanize you, and I don't even like the word human.
And the funny thing is, they don't care about the child. They don't care. Because you hear me say to her, lady, I could be your father trying to save you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the legalese were, but I was now speaking for my life and my children's life.
Mm-hmm.
And in the very end, they didn't give a damn about the children. They are just there to be paid. They don't care who I have to say the word kill or allowed to be killed, shall I say, on the way to their wage packet. These are not human beings. These are not human beings. Anyway, it moves on. So it gets back into, it is not about children, and it's not about the rights of children or the lives of children or the best interests of the child. No way, Jose, no way. Your child is like, they're like vampires, and your child is blood.
Your child is currency.
That's
Your
the
child
word.
is a bond.
Exactly. So hence the children are anchored in Sweden. Change, because they're making money for the Swedish registrar on the social services. Because when I called the social services in Sweden and said, excuse me, the gentleman was Ericsson, and I could show you the emails. I said, excuse me, in Swedish law, in section 14, blah, 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 social services, it says when a child or anyone is in danger, you are to report it to the police, etc., etc. They wouldn't report it to the police. I says, you are liable. This email says you are liable. And this case I have against you will not cease until you have forthwith in remedies, and the children have a claim against you. Little do they know, my children, they got a claim against Ealing, they got a claim against the social services. My children should not be working again, but they are so warped in their minds now, they're not going to want to listen to a man, because the system, getting back to the scam, is to destroy families.
Yeah, that's part of the New World Order as well, isn't it? The destruction of the family unit.
It's always been that way, because the Romans, let's go way back, the Romans are scared of men and women that can breed and lead, because it puts them out of the picture. They can't have people that can breed and lead. They want to be the ones at the top. So they give women this feminist movement, for example, you can do this, you can do it. And then you got all these women now that are single, no fathers. Chad is just jumping all over the place, boom, 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 hump and dump. And women are crying out, well, no one wants to date me, no one wants to marry me. They've really done their jobs. And in the same time of doing that, they've demasculated men as fathers.
So the trouble is, this is one of the things, and I've had this conversation with various people before, and it's when they've done like the liberation movement for women, it's not because they wanted to give you equal rights. It's not because they love you. It's because the evil psychopaths realise, hang on a minute, we're only taxing half the population. This way, we can tax the entire population, and we get to take their kids from them, so we get to indoctrinate them into the system.
More money, more money. More money. Good point. Yes, this is what it is. And people, you all need to kind of like see this and stop sitting down and waiting for people like me to act as guinea pigs and say, oh, I'm going to wait and see what the result is. It'll be too late if you don't get up and do things now. So getting back to this charade of how they smash the family, degrade men, make them valueless to women, making women valueless to themselves and valueless to men. So at the end of the day, no one actually, the children don't have any direction. So you get...
They're just fragmented, aren't they? They're fragmented off, and when they're fragmented, they're lost. And when they're lost, they're easily...
Look at my child.
Manipulated.
Exactly. Look at my child. We need to go to the police. To save her life, I had to take her back to where she was quickly, terminate the rest of the day, because there's no calming her down. This is what they've done to not just my children, because every children, like your children, is my children. All children are, once you're a grown adult, all children are your responsibility. So that's where that stop paying the maintenance went to. I didn't pay any more maintenance. I stopped, and I've got my children's money for when they grow big, they can come and see me. Whether they hate me or not, it's just their problem. Here's your money. If that's what your life is about, here's your money. You understand? If that's what your life is about. I've also done this. I've got affidavits and that lot, so you can... I've told Eden that you've got a court case against them, £1 million for each one of you, starting at no, because all your life, it cannot be replaced. Anyway, so we now tie the scam in to the council, because you have to remember, this is where it all started from. It was the councillors who sold my children's data and the police of Ealing that withheld the data, etc. So we get back to the council, and I'm still now on my daughter, about my daughter's life. So I'm stopped paying the council tax, trying to get as much attention as possible via these courts to get this matter of justice resolved. But as you hear in this clip, the first clip that I'll play you actually is of me talking to Mr. I'm going to call him Mr. Tyall. I'm not going to give his first name. Mr. Tyall, who was the person who's supposed to be the head of finance, etc., in council tax. But as you can hear, we've both come to the conclusion, because he agrees, the money that I pay goes to the mayor. The mayor pays the police, he pays the social worker, he pays the fire officers, he pays the dustbin man who came today, but I still got to bring my dustbin outside, otherwise I won't. He pays the dustbin man, he pays all these services. And as we've discussed, there are certain things in life that we need to help, we need to pay. You understand? We need to. So I don't mind doing something to help to maintain. But he agrees that all this money is paid off to these people. I says, well, if my money is paid off to the social services, the police, and so, I'm paying for my own harm, because these problems that are arising is all based from the council. And this is why I've withheld my council tax. Now, as you hear in the clip, he agrees that the problem is of the council. But here I am still now, since talking to them then, till now, with no resolution, no remedies, nothing put right. But yet, behind my back, I'm taken to court. The clip explains all these scenarios.
Hello, can I help you?
Hello, yes. Who am I speaking to?
It's Mr. Tyall.
Hello, yeah, Mr. Tyall, it's Mr. Robinson. You've been trying to call me. I'm sorry, my phone's exactly my phone.
Oh, hello, yes. You emailed me. You left your phone somewhere yesterday.
That's right, yeah, I've got it back today, but it was on silent. That's why the cab driver didn't hear it himself. I don't know, mate. I've got on silent. Can you get me back on that number? Because this line hasn't got the best of quality.
Yeah, on the number.
That you've
on the. Oh, one second. Hold on. Let me double check it. Hold on. One moment. Forgive me, sometimes things tick on a little bit slow. Hold on. 074 number 6626.
That's the one, yeah. That's the one.
I'll call you back now on that.
Yeah, because this one is jumping about. Thank you very much, Tish. Bye. That was my shepherd. I should not want to make me to lie down in green process. Reason tried to see what this is with my son. Lead me in the path of righteousness. Voice and say, yet I will to develop the shadow of death. I would fear not evil. For that women I will myself. They come with the birds to that before the pens of mine. Hello.
Hello there, Miss Robinson, yes.
Yes,
here we are.
eventually.
So, yes. Yeah, yes. I do, yeah, I'll come straight to it. I appreciate what you're saying, and I appreciate it's been going on a while. I have given suggestions about what to do. Can I give you two things from my point of view? I can look at the council tax, but all those other matters are sort of out of what I do. So I was going to make a suggestion to you.
Yes.
That I could on your the council tax, unfortunately, lawfully, the law says this, regardless of service and what you might be entitled to or not entitled to, as it were, you still got to pay the council tax. So I've got to say that. So we can discuss
yeah, I mean, with the greatest respect, you have to maybe take into appreciation the aim is not to pay the council tax. The aim is to be treated as a normal human being that pays council tax. You have to remember that you talk about laws, but you have to remember that you're there based on law, based on the fact that you are to provide a service. And with the greatest respect, Mr. Tyall, this is not a 5-minute conversation, whereas it's just one small aspect. We're talking about my children's life. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about destruction of my property. We're talking about complete bombardment with letters from councils telling me silly things that I need planning permission to catch rainwater. I've had a constant bombardment of insults and brutal force used against me, told to me in 2004, I'm going to destroy your property. I'm going to put your property on the, it didn't say on the list or whatever, because I didn't know about the list at the time, but I'm going to destroy your property, devalue your property. And within lo and behold of that man saying that, I've got letters from the council, you go on your roof too often, you do this, and I've had nothing but letters. Some letters come back with apologies because what have been given to me. So it's not a 5-minute issue, Mr. Terry. It's not a matter of trying not to pay council tax. That is the least of the matter. The fact of the matter is, it's embarrassing that I've got to put my neck on a guillotine in order to highlight the service that you guys are providing, because with the greatest of respect, I've been as far as Skriti Patel and Mr. Khan with this. I've been to Rupa Hug, which are, let's be fair, without being racial, they're all Asian people. They do not care for me as a person. They write back to me and tell me Black Lives Matters. Well, I'm asking them to prove it, because at the end of the day, my daughter, as I said, but based on Ealing Council, is now trying to hang herself. And for the love of money, I can't understand why the council and the police of Ealing, which are governed by the mayor, why they allow all these incidents to happen, and then now you come to me last year and tell me, well, irrespective of what happened, you have to pay council tax. Well, the shameful matter is, why should I have to go to such an extent after, 15, 16 years of torment from the council? It's not real, Mr. Tyrrell. It has to stop. It's not me trying to save pennies. It's me trying to save my life and my humanity. You do not know what this is doing to me inside this house. I've been a prisoner in my house since I've literally bought it because of Ealing Council. This has to stop.
As I said, I mean, numerous emails coming up and reading it. Can I make this suggestion?
You can make the suggestion, but we need resolutions.
Well, that's just it. I can have a part resolution, which is not really a resolution, but I can perhaps tell you what you should do. I know you've been to obviously the MP, and I know what you said there, but
they're not even had the audacity to get back to me, Rupert Hug. Come on.
What about my earlier suggestion? I mean, it's a council matter, really. What about my earlier suggestion to the local councillor, Councillor Sumner? Did you go to him with this? Because there's very problems here, and he would probably have to do it on your behalf. Did you approach him? Because he's West 5.
I have approached everything that you've sent, every format that you've sent me. I've pre-approached before you sent me some of these. As I said to you, I've been to Skriti Patel. I mean, I have been knocking on. I've been ILPC. I've been data standards. I've been every single place apart from media, because, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want my life and I've got nothing to hide. But at the same time, I don't want to be in the media in that sense, fighting with a council, trying to expose what they're doing to certain people, etc. This is foolishness. It has to stop. Because the thing is, Mr. Tyrrell, if I couldn't prove any of this, I would have a serious mental issue. And I'm surprised that I haven't got a serious mental issue based on the bombardment of acts that I'm getting that are illegal from the council. It has to stop. It's not about the council tax or the non-paying. It is, you cannot be torturing me and expect me to just sit down there like a sitting duck and be paying for it. If your child or your wife was in danger or dying, I'm pretty sure, Mr. Tyrrell, you would not be going to work every day saying to everybody, it's a lovely day, sun shining. You would have some mental concern of what's happening and the aspects of danger that would impact on your mental capability. So the same thing is happening to me. You cannot, as a human being, sit there and say to me, this MP and that MP, they have not come back to me. Why not?
Did you I know you approached a lot of people there. For Councillor Sumner's point of view, he's the councillor, therefore he'll have a lot of influence in other departments.
Well, I'll take his name again.
Did he come back to you?
I'll take his name again and I'll get back to him fresh as we finish this conversation, because the thing is, I'm sitting here, I'm in the middle of fraud. You talk about a couple of pennies that I need to pay the council. I'm in the middle of fraud. I've been from councillors and from police as well. This is the funny thing about it. And I'm thinking, well, my local council's not doing anything about it. Are they involved? Well, you know what acquiescence states. As far as I'm concerned, I'm paying for a service. I'm paying for police service. I'm paying for social service. I'm paying for dustbin. The dustbin are the only thing that comes around here and empty that does anything towards any form of service. You understand? But bar that, there is nothing that the council is providing to aid me or to stop what they're doing to me. It has to stop, because I can't continue like this. One day I'll just end up dead from the mental stress or from acts which I've seen the police. Your police have been onto my road with a criminal and jumped out on the road on me. I'm a normal human being walking down the road. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'll complain about the police. They send the same officer in disguise, his face all covered up, coming to my house to terrorise me again. Lucky thing I had a witness here. It has to stop, Mr. Tyrrell. I can't live like this. And with the greatest respect, I'm going to take that address off that gentleman. But you cannot live like this. Nobody in UK should be living like this.
It's not going to be out of the direct council. Although you're right. I mean, you are right that the council will, in the collection of the tax, then sends it off to the mayor, and that he then gives it off to the Met Police. Did you go and complain independently? You said to the Independence Police.
I've been there. They say
what did they do?
They have done nothing. They've not even answered the complaint. And far as I've complained to the police about several robberies. I've complained to the police about I've complained to the police about everything that even the police have done. They've taken all my details, put on their computer, and doctored it. And that is not lawfully right, Mr. Tyrrell. The police are a service is supposed to be looking after us, not Secret Service. I know that there's Secret Service everywhere. Everywhere you turn, there's Secret Service. That's not my problem. That's their problem. They want to be secret. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not involved in any of this issue. I'm just a normal black person that wants to live a normal life. I can't live like this. You couldn't live like this. I'm telling you. So how do you expect me to live like this? These MPs that are there, I'm not unpolitical. They're there to do a certain job. They chose for that job. They get paid for that job. All I'm asking is, look, please treat me normal, because that's what you've stipulated. You've even gone as far as says Black Lives Matters. Well, please start to prove it to me, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not asking you to pay me any Windrush or anything. I've made my own life. I've never taken any money from the council. I don't sign on. I don't do anything like that. It's just, for me, it's just straightforward, because I'm not accepted into this society. And this is what this is showing. And this is what I have to stop. You cannot say to me that, Mr. Robinson, I want to pay my council tax tomorrow. I want to be like a normal person. That's what the council needs to understand. You cannot be telling me, irrespective of what we're doing to you, you still have to pay for it. That's torture. But prefer to die. Prefer to die. With greatest respect. No, not being angry or anything, but I prefer not to live in this world with people of that caliber. And I've said it to the Swedish judge. I said it to the Swedish judge when social services here doctored all my records and sent my records across to Sweden illegally, that got my children kidnapped. Now, when I rang the council and complained about it, the woman rang me up on a day off. On a day off, she rings me up. Social services officer rings me up. Because you couldn't sleep, I did this. I sent your data. Because you couldn't sleep. I'm thinking, what the heck is this? That's not real, Mr. Tyrrell. That is tyranny. That is abuse. And that is torture. No social worker rings you up and torture you and says, look, because you couldn't sleep and because you complained to these social services, I sent your records off. Now my children are in danger. Go back to the same social services. No one wants to know. And you tell me to keep paying. Are you asking me to continue helping kill my daughter? I can't work like that. I said to you, I prefer to die, and God is my witness. God's my witness. It's not worth living with people of this caliber on this earth in this way, because they are as good as dead, and all they're doing is creating death. No disrespect, sir.
Well, we're going to see what we can do post this call. And we'll make an agreement, perhaps what we have to go forward. Can I ask you, just going back to the claiming? I was going to ask you, are you? Have you got income? I was going to ask you. If not, I was going to suggest you can claim benefit, but perhaps... I
don't claim benefit. I haven't got no income, sir. My income is being stolen. This is part of what I'm trying to say to you. You guys have really formulated our lives in. Going back many years, Ealing Council decided to go green. Road to us all, tell us all to go green. I started to go green, then they gave me problems about catching rainwater and certain aspects that I was doing. That was green, growing plants. So I then decided, because of the racism here, to move to Spain. Go to Spain, the same thing happens here. I go through solicitors, all legal channel, English solicitors, English agent using solicitors recommended, only to be ripped off, my money's turned over, my farm set afire while I'm inside trying to kill me. My monies are now held in a Spanish bank, which I can't touch. How am I meant to survive? The police does nothing. They take my records, doctor all my records. For 4.5 years, I've been trying to get a report of of everything that's happened to me, nothing is done. And you're telling me that I must just sit there and pay for it? Well, how am I meant to pay for it if I don't have an income? If I'm not signing on to you guys, and you check my history, I don't take from the government. I'm spiritually not enabled to take from the government. Right? I have to work for what I have, and it has to be honest money. But my money's in a bank right now that I can't get hold of, and no one's doing anything about it, but I must pay. How? It's like taking my oxygen saying, you've got to breathe. How does that work?
But even though that money is sorry, I'm just seeing. Yes, okay, fine. I'm going to send you a couple of things there. Even though you said the money is, you have an income, but it's not being paid, obviously, because it's being paid in other things. Is that what you're saying?
No, my income that I've worked for. My income that I've worked for running my building firms, building all the Cafe Neros that you guys see, all your patisserie Valeries. That's what I've been doing with my life. Making London, building London, Mr. Tyall. St Martin's in the Field, the cafe in St Martin's in the Field crypt. I'm involved in the building of that. St Martin's in the Fields Church. The whole aspect of that. I was the person that was doing the whole maintenance for the whole premises. I've done my work. But my money's now being stolen. The police are assisting it. You guys are... come on, this political warfare has to stop. This is what you call demonic racial institution. I don't know the word, but I know what it feels like, and I know what it is. Because I'm living it. I cannot live like this, Mr. Tyall. I'm not an angry man. My letters and my emails may sound stern. Those are the pains and the torture that you people are imploring on me. I just need to be a normal person, just like a bird flying in the sky and no one's shooting after him. But everywhere I go, I've got you guys shooting after me. I can't get no victim support. I can't get no aid at all. How am I meant to live, Mr. Tyall? It is not a cry, it is a reality.
Just go back there to what you said there. So you're in the building trade. For instance, you would do things like St Martin's in the Field. That's in Trafalgar Square, that one.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah,
there's only one St Martin's in the Field church.
Yeah, so you've done, okay.
I've looked after London.
And what I was going to say to you was, if you needed independent advice about anything away from the council, I can certainly send you that. I can send you that. What I'll do then, I'll give you a part solution, because we sent you a notice about unpaid council tax. Now, what I'll have to do is put a hold while we're waiting there. I'm going to put a flag on here, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, well, we've had a conversation now. I'm going to advise you, because there's two things I'm going to send you.
Yeah.
The one is about the independent. They don't call it the Independent Police Commission now. They call it the Independent Office for Police Conduct.
That's right. I've been with them. I've been with Mr. Dalton in that one, and Mr. Dalton doesn't even reply anymore. Like yourselves. This is why I've thought the same thing. I wrote and no one replies.
Are you going to follow it up though? You're still going to follow it up?
Yes, I've got the complaint going.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll still send you that. The other thing, which is directly the council, I'm going to send you Councillor Sumner's contact. What I'd like you to do, you can certainly copy me in, because I'm going to hold matters with regards to council tax. And I'm going to reply to you now, and I'm going to say, yes, okay, fine. Even though we've got debts last year, we've got the new one come up this year.
Yep.
We're going to hold notices while you you've made it clear to me you want your issues addressed. I will give you Councillor Sumner's email. The reason I'm going to give you the email is because what you're going to have to do, and I'll give you some advice how to do this, is to write to Councillor Sumner, you're my councillor, please can you look at it. What I would suggest you do is put just brief points and categories what the problem is, what the problems are. You can copy me in, then he can look at it. Now, from my experience, what he'll do, for each category of problem, he then asks for the managers in those particular departments, can you look at this and give us a definitive answer? So that's what I would suggest you do.
Yep.
I will hold action. Well, I mean, where are we now? 20th of April? So it might take a few more weeks to get this clear, mightn't it? So let's hold things until the end of June. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's say, what's that, 2.5 months, 2 and a bit months?
It's not, I appreciate the time and the holding. It's not the holding, it's the fast forwarding that I need. It's not the withholding of anything, it's the fast forwarding. So I can get back into normal paying my council tax. I can feel like a normal human being, I can see my children again, get back onto my farm, get my monies, get my life in order. And just be a normal human being. That's all.
Understood. But you will email the councillor for me.
Well, most definitely, Mr. Tyall.
Yeah,
I would be silly not to, waiting so many years to get matters resolved and not. As I said, I've emails and I've even sent you emails that I've sent to the IOPC, but obviously you haven't read them.
Right. Quite a bit has come in. I have to.
I've sent you everything to keep you up to date.
Let me put the flags on now and put on your account because I want to suppress things. What we do, they're called suppression flags. They're only temporary bugs, so I'm putting them on to the end of June. Hold on.
Right. Can I say something about these suppression flags?
Yeah.
I'm glad you've said it. These suppression flags are all over my name in the UK on your computers and on your registers. So when I call up for a service anywhere, I do not get it. Now, with the greatest of respect, that's the act of secret societies of people working against me. I'm not against any secret society. I don't want to be involved in a secret society. But what I'm saying, I am red flag. Solicitors have told me. Your victim support have told me the same thing. The doctors who the police have meddled with my medical records have told me. I am red flagged, sir. So this flag that you're putting up, I appreciate it, but the other ones have to be taken down.
Mr. Robinson, I can assure you, I can give you 100% guarantee. The flags I put on here are just on council tax database.
No, what you're doing is quite legit.
That's suppressing any other notices. That's all I've done. It won't go anywhere else. It doesn't suppress anything else. So I can assure you of that. Absolutely can't.
No, I appreciate that. I'm not accusing you personally with the greatest respect. What I'm trying to expose to you is a parallelity of already what is happening.
Oh, I see. Yes.
This is why I can't get any service anywhere because of the red flags that are up. So we can't pretend that they're not there, because if they weren't there, I wouldn't have the oppression, I wouldn't have the blockages, etc. It's just simple.
But from my point of view, what happens is, how can I explain it? The way the software works, and it is software that we use. What happens is, send a notice out. If it's not paid, then it can generate other notices.
Yeah, I understand.
If I don't put a code on, and we call it suppression codes or flags, then
it escalates, etc.
Yeah. So
it's robotic, basically.
Yeah, that's right. But it doesn't go anywhere else. It just stays on this.
Yeah.
The access to databases I would have are council tax and business rate ones. That it won't go anywhere else. All right, Mr. Robinson. So I'm going to send you an email now. Would you assure me that in this afternoon or immediately you'll contact Councillor Sumner, put down what the issues are with the brief details, and ask for help?
I can't say it's going to be this. I can't say it's this afternoon because I have got other things planned. I have got other things planned.
Yeah.
So by tomorrow at least, he will have a.
By tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll have a contact.
All right. Okay. Then you certainly can copy me in as well.
Yeah, most
Mr.
definitely.
Robinson. So I've given you a part solution, so you won't get any other notices. I've said to the end of June. I'm going to email you now. I said, look, this is your councillor. Please contact him. Put the issues down. Do you want me to put the? You said you got the independent police.
Well, you can give me it again because it'll all be on record.
I can give it to you again.
Yeah, it'll all be on record.
I'll give it to you again because that's sort of outside what the council will be able to do. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay,
right,
so
right.
I mean, the best thing I think will be to put it in email. You've got my email.
I'm going to email you now.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm going to email you now.
I'll take it from there.
Right, I'll email you now. It's further our discussion. Now, it's still the Hanger Lane at Hotmail.
That's one. Yeah.
I will send that to you now.
Right.
Yes, so you're promising me by tomorrow.
I'm not making a promise. I'm telling you what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I don't want to get caught into a contract.
No, that's fine.
But I am going to be contact the gentleman tomorrow because it's part of my aid to try and resolve this issue. My aim is not to try to avoid council tax. So anything that's beneficial for me, I'm at the utmost to do it for my own sensitivity, really.
So also contact him tomorrow. That would be
He's already as good as contacted. My word is my word.
right. I understand. All right, thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Right,
thank you for that.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Tyall. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
As you've heard in the clip, Mr. Tyall was not interested in my children's life at all. He picked up on, oh, do you mean St. Martin's in the Fields Church? As I'm explaining to him the places that I work. He was interested in my finance, where finance was coming from. He wasn't interested in the life of the child. So where have we seen that pattern before? In the courts. Now, we are paying these people for service. And duped-eyed as I was, thinking, if you pay, you'll get. If you pay, you'll get. No, all I was doing is paying to get harm. Because as you hear in one of the conversations, I think the conversation with Mr. Mason, who's the head of Ealing, leader, I said to him, look, I'm walking down the road there, an ordinary person, and 4 of your police officers plus a drug dealer is jumping out on me on the road. Come on. 4 police officers pull up in a car, unmarked car, and the criminal that was selling his stuff around they gang together, and as I walked down the road, they're jumping out on me. I had to get my phone out and start recording. I said, this is what I'm paying for. I'm paying for my
to
own.
be abused.
This is the whole point. So people, the scams you've got to wake up. It's not, I know there's a lot of channels and a lot of people going around saying, I will do this and do that. And, if you do this, you'll get that. And be careful, because these people are only out for your pennies. Do you understand? Test them out. Test them out. I wouldn't be on this channel if this gentleman didn't do as he says. If he didn't hold a paper up or reply or something, because if he didn't know what paper was doing as he's saying, you wouldn't see me here. But I'm willing to put my neck out and say these things, because another thing that we have to understand is that they watch all these. They're watching this as it's going to be coming out, and then they'll aim for you on the streets, in the courts. Doesn't matter. They will set something for you so that you have a hard life. And I've had the ricochet of all this. But as we hear with Mr. Mason, who then enticed me to said he's going to get it resolved. Now, this is after speaking to Mr. Tyall. So I thought, oh, thank God. And I paid 2,000. I think, as I told you in the other pod, that 2,000 wasn't even located. They couldn't locate it. They send it off to their third party. But as I'm learning from your channel, I've learned so many things.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I am. I've learned that at the end of the day, these what we're doing is wrong. Basically, we just all need to stick together, follow one route, and get it. All do the same thing, and get it right. I've learned a lot. So at the end of the day, I'm here, and I think we're going to be doing some more bits and pieces together. Whereas I tried to document some of the things that I'm actually going through, like you've done, and say, look, this is a result of this is a result of that, etc., if that's the right thing to say.
Yeah, well, it's about like you say, there's a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And it's about giving people the inspiration to say, look, this is what you can achieve if you follow these steps. And that's kind of what my Patreon account is. It's a minimal fee, but for that minimal fee, you're getting, I would say, probably hundreds or thousands of pounds worth of information that can help you. And it's about helping you set up foundations for the future. So, for example, the council tax, if you want to stop paying the council tax, that's great. But first you need to put things into place so things don't come back and bite you on the bum. And it's
True.
about educating people how to pen a watertight affidavit or contract, if some people call them a contract. And it's about just claiming your standing as the executor and sole beneficiary and putting you in charge and making everybody else the trustee. And that's that's what it's about. It's about trying to get people to sing from the same hymn sheet and to get people to all come over to one community, if you like, where people can discuss and talk openly and, share their journey and experiences and build on foundations which ultimately are going to help everyone.
Yeah, but on foundations that have been proven to work or proven to do something.
Exactly. Yes, that's right.
It's no point. This is not legal advice, by the way, people. This is
No, it's not.
Stop paying your council. It's nothing like that. It is for the liberation of yourself, and it doesn't mean just because you stop, you may stop this or stop that. It doesn't mean that you become mean and against the law and break this and break that. No, we have to have an order. Your fingers have to have orders. They have to stay on your attach your hands. If they start to disappear and that, like, it's chaos. So everything, the sun needs to stay where it is, the moon, everything. But you all have to operate from your positions in a proper way. So it's not legal advice. Oh, to stop paying this, stop paying that, become rebels. No, because that's chaos. That's animal life, and it's not animal life we want to live. We want to live a humane life.
We want to live a harmonious life in existence with each other under God's law.
Exactly. If we take it from a person like Jacob Collier, he likes harmony, harmonizing people. And you hear how beautiful his music actually turns out when normal people from all walks turn together and whatever it is he does.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, isn't it? Again, but it's all frequency.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all in one. It's all in one person. It's not Jacob Collins here, and this one's over there, and that one's over there, and everyone's singing all different songs. We all need to sing the same song. So, again, for all you channelers and people out there that got all these, I've got this going, and I've got that going, and I've got that going, it will not work until we all get together and do the same thing. Because it'll be just antagonizing. This one pulling that way, that one pulling that way. Now they'll sit there and laugh. They'll sit there and say, "Look at them. We've met them up so much. They don't know what to do now. They're all this one running that way."
That's right. It's a method of divide and rule, isn't it?
It is. Now I'm going to say one thing and try to wrap this up as we come near an end. You try to breathe in and out at the same time. Try it.
You can't.
You have to have principle and order. You can't breathe in and out at the same time. No one can. You understand? It's either or either. And this is why we're all failing, is because we're sitting down. Some people will say, "Oh, look, he's telling people not to pay this." No, not doing that. I'm telling you to get up, as in the words of Bob Marley, stand up for your rights. Do you understand? And he's not the only one.
God-given rights.
Your God-given rights. No one else gave you them. In my eyes, God didn't give the Queen, the King, anybody a bit of paper that says you're allowed to kill or this land, England, is yours. There's no signed paper that says that you own England. There's no signed paper that any president or any politician has that says they're allowed to kill people. We can send weapons there. There's none of these things are in law written down on paper that we have actually agreed to.
No.
And this is what I was thinking of as a child. Do you understand? So we now need to start to question things that, hold on a second. The world is our oyster, but if we just sit there and let someone else hammer it and smash it, by the time you do see the pearl, it's completely destroyed because they don't want you to see the pearl of your life, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny actually you say as a child, because I remember as a child, maybe not so much a child, but certainly a teenager, And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you ever found yourself in a situation where just by saying something or writing something down, everything would go away?
Oh,
And
bless your heart.
and in my 40s, I'm now learning that actually there is. And
Is
this
that
is
your
what
age?
I'm now teaching others.
Is that your age, Chris?
I'm 43, 44 in June.
Well, you're doing really well, man. Well done. God loves you, boy. He loves you,
Awesome.
man.
Awesome.
Well done.
And
I
so,
thought
yeah,
you were way
I
younger than that.
did you?
Yeah.
No, I feel older than 43.
Maybe I need my eyes testing, but you look well, man. But nevertheless, anyway, it's about look, make each one, teach each one. Do you understand? Making someone else happy. But the thing is, there are going to be people sit down in the comments saying this and saying that. No, people, we need to get up off of our butts. Stop watching others get destroyed because it's you that's getting destroyed.
Yeah, yeah,
You
absolutely.
understand?
I mean, a lot of these negative comments we get could well be like, I know they call them the 77th Brigade, but it's like people literally trying to steer you away from truth by putting
Well,
seeds of doubt into people's minds.
well, the devil's there to do his job, isn't he?
That's right.
As we said, breathing or out. So there's good and there's bad. There's always two sides. You got left hand and a right hand. One hand is better than the other, but both are needed to
Yeah.
keep a balance. You've got the sun and you've got the moon. Do you get what I mean? So
Mhm.
let them be, because without those people, remember, to tip a scale, you don't need everyone in the world to tip a scale. You only need the right ones with the right weighted minds. You understand? Which I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
we said was about a third or whatever the case may be. You don't need a whole thing to tip a scale. Even in law, they say 51%, and that's it. There's a ruling in their corrupted law.
And apparently, it only takes something like 5% of a town to overthrow a council of a vote of no confidence.
So
The
that
numbers
means we've
are
got,
small, if you want to vote and give jurisdiction, of course. But
well, that's coming up now, and thank you God, I've never ever voted or signed on. I don't, He's really provided for me. But at the same time, people, this voting, that you have to watch what you're actually participating in, because once you give a tick a
100%.
signature, that then gives a man permission to send weapons to another country. That's the bottom line. That then gives that politician or that prime minister permission to go to whether Ukraine, whether it's Palestine, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Jamaica, whether it's Haiti, whether it's Africa, all these places. Once you tick, you are responsible for those children dying. And please don't say to me, oh, so what do you want them to do? People just come in and we don't do anything. I didn't say that. You are responsible by that little tick that you give for what's happening around this world. There's nowhere on earth you cannot say you're not responsible.
Everyone has to take responsibility.
In Jamaica, the worst killing times is when it's political times. From I've been a child. When it's who are you voting for? Psh, no, you're not. Psh, no, you're not. You're voting for. Come on.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we need to wake up and say, hold on a second. What are we actually really doing? What we're really doing, we really need to. Where's the paperwork? Where is the paperwork? Like I asked that judge, can I see a valid paperwork from Sweden that says they have jurisdiction? She went ahead and forged and formulated judgments or whatever without my agreement. And this is why in the clip you will hear me tell her, she fraudulently and you fraudulently are following her footsteps. Since that period up until now, I've not heard anything. But obviously they're going to be watching this and maybe going to start or whatever the case is. But where we're going to be trying to go a step ahead is you're going to be helping me with some stuff that we're going to document. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
we're going to cover all the areas, all the bases to take away any liability that you currently have.
Yeah, and I would like to also You know, but this is to you. Once you have the knowledge, because I can't do anything. I'm not here to do anything on my own. As I said, it needs to be one person driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is to make a claim onto them as well, to claim for these damages that has been incurred, because it is, you hear in the statements, oh, is this a council problem? Well, it really is, and I've been saying this all along, and it's for other people to actually get up. And if you've been abused by your local council, look, there's a man here that will listen to you. So not saying to you to come and bombard him with rubbish, because it's hard enough for me to get through to him when I want to. But if you want to help to save somebody else, I've done my bit. I've done my bit. For those of you to listen and say, well, that's happening to me, or that's happening to Stacey, or that's happening to Peter, or that's happening to remember that little girl that died, brother? Yeah, it was a son. Remember Baby P?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What do? We just sit down there. Oh, next. Oh, what a tragedy. Next. Oh, isn't that a shame?
That's it. They're just viewed as collateral damage. They're not viewed as a life that's been destroyed.
It's us.
Yeah.
It's us. You know, until you feel that way, then you're just really a dead man walking, and I'm not trying to get any enemies because they're easy to come by. But hard to get rid of.
As far as the government are concerned, you are this. You are a birth certificate, which is a form of currency which they use and sell you on bonds every day, multiple times. And that's all they care about. But this can't go to work. This can't pay bills. This can't accrue debt because it's a piece of paper. You, as the executor and sole beneficiary of this, holds all the power, not them. But people don't realise that. And this is what we're educating people on.
Thank you very much. This is why I think I have enough enemies in those high hierarchy places. My life has been threatened. As I said, me personally have been attempted kidnapped in a taxi, black taxi in London. There are so many things that these dark societies do. I told you guys, I've had police come to my house. We can't find who they are. Do you understand? So they didn't come here to write down investigations. So I've had it up to here of sleeping or not sleeping, thinking who's coming next. And I thought to myself, hold on a second, I'm killing myself by being in fear.
Yep.
Stand up, get up and stand up. And I go out and people see my guitar over there. I'll go out, make people happy, smile. It's not about getting any money. If someone wants to give me a penny or two, God bless them. It's not about that. And they know it because people have given us a no, thank you, whatever the case. It's about, like me and you smile. That makes me smile. Yep. Endorphins are released. And for those couple of seconds, we are stress-free.
That's right. Yeah, we are all one at the end of the day. We're one consciousness having individual experiences. So we're a divine, this is where I go all woo-woo, but we are one consciousness experiencing itself individually.
You're right. We're like little parasites in a great big body.
Yeah.
We're all little in one big. So this universe could be a person's body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
That we're actually in. Do you understand?
Well, I've seen videos where they use that as the analogy. I think even the Simpsons do it.
You trying to call me Marge?
No, not today. You're more like Lisa. But it's the case of like,
as long as it's not
every individual cell of your body has its own digestive system. It has its own. Do you know what I mean? So we are everything about you as a person, not a person. Everything about you as an individual is made up of multiple different millions.
Repetitions. It keeps repeating itself. Inside the ears, according to acupuncture, meridian lines, it's all your body's bits and pieces inside your nose, under your eye stamp in your hand, your kidney, your liver, your feet, the same.
Yeah. And all your cells communicate with each other to make this thing that you think is just one thing, which is you, function.
Man, you're hitting the nail on the head. So did you hear that, people? Within your own body, everything communicates with itself for you to function. So why is it outside of our body, when we're in this big world body, we are now functioning different things? You've got antibodies, you've got parasites, which we now know are not working for our favor to make us any better in life. Para, against. And these are our councils. I hate to say it, but doctors in anything that's .gov.uk, anything that is a government licensed entity, solicitors, bar guilds, whatever, is not working for you. You are working for them. So you now have to start to work for yourself and become self-employed, but work for all of us to become self-employed. Because what comes to mind is that song, "What a Wonderful World It Would Be." Do you understand? Anyway, I don't want to get too philosophical, but at the same time, we really need to get up off of our butts and do things. So what I'm going to do is listen to you, and you're going to hopefully give me some pointers as to how we ascribe some bits and pieces, and then give you guys some feedback, like the video clips of what's happened. Any encounters I come across, I'll record them so that you'll know what you are really up against. It may not be up to you directly, and it's not about colour. No, they've used that trick on everybody. Then they've used women and men trick. Then they've used boys and girls trick. Then
that's why I don't like the term human anymore, because hue is colour, isn't it? We're not humans, we're beings.
Thank you very much. Seeds. And the sun has come out to say we're doing the right thing again. Isn't that amazing?
That is
sun
great.
Always seems to come out and shine when
And I think that's a good place to end it on. A nice
sunshiny
hour. Yeah. A good positive. So listen, thank you very much for chatting with us. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I hope everyone's found it both inspirational and eye-opening, especially the audio. So yeah, lovely. I look forward to having you on where we can discuss how things have progressed in your journey, and in the hope that it inspires other people to join us on the journey, because it is a journey and it's something where as a collective, we've got this. Take back control.
I do agree, totally agree. That's my journey. My journey is not to be selfish, but to help who I can, so that who I can will help me.
Absolutely. No, that makes sense to me. But brilliant.
See you guys in comments, and please help each other in the comments. Help each other in the comments. Read each other's comments, and just revolve it. Chris, not going to talk you to death.
All right, mate.
Take care.
Brilliant. All the best, mate. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.